hey, hey, we're back, we're black, we're brown, ambition. Hey, Mandra. First of all, yes to this shirt.
This is a dress.
It's a dress. I was going to say, is this a frock?
It's a frock. It's a frock and a half, for frock's sake. This is from the Target. I'm so punny.
Is it the Tabitha line?
No, not Tab. Right. No, not Tab's line. This is from one of their capsule collections. It's a black designer. I want to say his first name is Chris.
Okay.
But every once in a while, I see a beautiful black woman in the wilderness wearing this shirt and this dress. And I just want to be like, Target. No, but it's just, no one wants you to just run up on them and talk about Target.
It's really cute. The frock is frocking.
Thank you very much. I do what I can. How are you doing on this Monday?
I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I had therapy this morning, so I was like, sometimes I'd be like, I don't wanna, but it was good. Like, it was always good, honestly. Dr. Green is always amazing, but sometimes you just don't feel like dealing with like the stuff you have to deal with. So, but honestly,
my therapist called me out. She's like, if you're going to cancel the night before, let's make this a 24-hour in advance thing. Because I'd be like, Mike, I don't think I'm going to want to talk tomorrow. She called me out. Sorry, Dr. Laura.
No, it just was like, because sometimes, and I honestly was thinking, I'm like, maybe I should cancel. I'm like, do you want to cancel? Why? You just don't feel like talking and dealing with the real deal. It's okay to say it, but you're not canceling. And I didn't, and I'm glad that I didn't, because a really good therapist gives you something to think about and said, I never thought about it that way. Okay, that's a really good perspective.
That's the annoying part sometimes.
Yes. For sure.
But it's like, we don't want to save money. Sometimes I want to like go to brunch and not save money. And then I'm like, that's the therapy financial emergency fund thing. Like, therapy is the emergency fund for your brain.
It is.
Do your tithing, do your contributions, show up if you don't want to show up. But
yes,
thank you for that transparent moment.
No problem.
I've been this has been a day of sewing for me, man. SOW. You sew? Whenever I like have a really
sewing.
No, SOW.
I was like, let me find out man to be here with the needle and thread.
With whose free time? Nah. No, just whenever I have a busy day now, I go back to that analogy of like, you're in your season of sewing that you talked about before. And I'm like, I was sewing today. So just bunch of stuff, but exciting stuff. I had to look at my calendar, and I do like a pep talk for myself. Like, okay, we can get through this. Also, let's look at the meeting. This is exciting stuff. This is like interesting stuff, But you reminded me that I didn't even remember today was a holiday. It was Amazon stock split day.
Girl. Okay, the girls are going up in the group chat. So I have a group chat with my sisters. I'm
not in any good group chats.
Well, it's just me and my sisters, girl. Like, if we don't keep it, like, it's literally just me and my 4 sisters. And so my sister Karen was like, don't forget, today Amazon had their stock split. What is it, 20-1?
It's huge. So you can get a share of Amazon. Right? I mean, this is Monday. We're taping this, and obviously the stocks change. But what's it at? Like 120, one something right now?
Yeah, like 124. Well, I mean, in the 120s, because to your point, it is and who even knows? It's literally like fluctuating all over. But maybe we should explain what a stock split is.
Can you explain it? Because I feel like I don't always understand entirely, other than it's just like, oh, it's more affordable for people.
Yeah. So it's not less
you're
not getting
share.
less money or more money.
Yeah.
It's literally, let's just say you have a 2-to-1 stock split, and you have $100 worth of stock of, like, we're just saying, Brown Ambition stock, because why not? Right.
Yeah,
so
one day,
if one stock, you have one stock of Brown Ambition is worth $100. If we did a 2-to-1 stock split, then you would have 2 stocks, each worth $50 a piece. So you still own $100 worth of stock. It's just split into 2 separate sections. So there's 2 reasons. Well, a couple of reasons why companies like to do this is that one, Amazon was in the thousands. I can't remember what it was, and I should have checked, but what it was before the 2-to-1, the 20-to-1 stock split, it was literally 5 figures for one Amazon stock, which is a lot of money, right? And so one of the reasons why they do a stock split is that now people who could not afford, mostly everybody, to buy stock for $1,000 plus can more likely afford to buy a stock, for $120 something. So you're
Yeah.
not getting like a bigger piece of the company. It's basically just like you're getting a fractional share, of this company, so that's one. And then two, what it allows is that if more people, how stocks and anything that you sell works is that the higher the demand, the more valuable a thing becomes. Now, people who normally were like, I can't buy Amazon are rushing to buy Amazon. And the hope is that the stock will go back up and creep back up from 120 something to 200 to 300 to and beyond.
Yeah.
So Amazon is going to be worth more money in the end,
It's
and
like,
you'll be to be able to get in on the groundish level.
yeah, it's like giving everyone another shot.
Yes, exactly. Literally, it's like
Interesting.
so. Yeah, so that obviously you have to do your homework. We are not here to say go buy Amazon. That's
Mm-mm.
not what this is at all. It's just to know that there's a stock split. And at the very least, it's a great opportunity for you to do a little studying and say,
Yeah.
oh, let me see how, this is cute. So it's
Mm-hmm.
120 something today. So if we say this is Monday, what is it, the 6th, Mandy?
The
Monday the 6th?
6th. Yes, ma'am.
Right? So June, Monday the 6th, 2020. By the time you listen to this, where's the stock now? As a matter of fact, why don't you tweet us? We could use some tweets.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, the stock price is this today at what is it, the BA podcast on
At
Twitter?
the
Is that
BA
what we are?
podcast.
Mm-hmm. And so why don't you tweet us and say the stock price when I check today is dot dot dot. Matter of fact, let's mark the time exactly what it is, because I think that'll be really interesting to say, like, day to day what
Mm.
the stock is looking like, because we get to practice like understanding like how stocks go up and down. Let me see. Amazon. Well, actually it's called Alphabet. It's not Amazon. Right? No.
Well, that's Google you're
No,
thinking
that's
of.
Google. Look at me. Meanwhile, girl, I'm like, let me make sure I actually bought Amazon. Wouldn't that be crazy
Yeah.
if I bought
Please, Tiff. Wait, who's the sister who helps you have her look over your
Carol?
work before you press
Yes,
buy?
it's like, can you look at my work? So it is $125.40. That's what it is right now.
Okay.
$125.40. Let us know the day you listen, whatever day you're listening. Say, I just checked Amazon and it's now currently this. I think that'll be exciting to see like the shift. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I will tell y'all point blank, I am not the one to give you specific stock advice. I'm the
Mhm.
dumb who bought Peloton like in the, during the pandemic. And because, we had Terry on, Terry Igioma
Yes.
from, what's her name? Trade and Travel. We had her
Mhm.
on and I got so excited and she's like, again and again, if you don't trade stocks without having a plan and how important your plan is
Mhm.
and all that kind of stuff. I never had no plan. It was very apparent to me. I still have those shares of Peloton that are probably worth like, I don't know, 4 dusty Fruit Loops from the bottom of my purse right now. That's probably what they're worth. Yeah, I'm still an index. I'm an index fund gal, but
Mhm.
I am like, to your point, I feel like at a certain point I will be ready. I will be ready to put together a plan. I need to like get my crap together. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, I will watch you spend your money. It sounds fun.
But yeah, I mean, because honestly, the last time I purchased a stock split, let me see what it was. It did really well because I listened to, my guru, aka Carol.
Yes.
I was like, I always ask Carol, what are you
Was it
doing?
Tesla
Right?
the last stock split?
What? Yeah, it was Tesla, and also was it Google?
It might
It
have been
was. Let me
Google.
see. Yes, I'm like, how do I even
Yeah.
check? I'm such a.
Oh,
But
good
it was
Tesla.
honestly, I'm
Good
not gonna.
Tesla.
Well, it didn't do, like, I mean, obviously everything is down now, but I had
Yeah.
purchased Tesla. Yeah. So when I purchased Tesla, they had a stock split and it was still pretty pricey. It was $444.89 when I purchased Tesla during their stock split. And now Tesla is $710,
Mm.
because Tesla's on the up and up. We'll see. Cause Elon just be talking all that mess on Twitter. So
They have been
it
on the
could go
down and
either way.
down. They
I
have been
mean,
on the
but I
down
will say,
and down.
because I purchased it during the stock split, like basically it's back where
Yeah.
it was before. And then at the time, it was something else. It wasn't Amazon. It was Apple. Apple did a
Mm.
stock split around the same time. And I purchased Apple at that time for 127. And now Apple is 145. So not a tremendous jump up, but still.
Yeah.
So, but
I
because
like
at the
Apple.
time I could not have afforded whatever Apple was at that time. I think the Apple was 4-1. And I want to say Tesla was 2-1. Then that they split basically, like, the stock split was half and half, I think. And I think like Amazon was like, I mean, not Amazon, Apple was 4-1. So yeah. So the thing I
Yeah.
like about stock splits is that most financial folks will tell you that typically a company is going to split stocks only when they're feeling optimistic, because usually don't find failing companies do so. So it might be an indication that they're feeling like things are going good. Maybe they have something new that's coming out. And, so but here's the thing, like we know how men are with their optimism. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Just because someone is optimistic, but just keep that in mind that like, a company can feel optimistic, but that doesn't mean that it ends up panning out. But just know that usually it's a sign of optimism, which might be a sign that the company is feeling strong and good. Hey, BA fam. Did you know that support for Brown Ambition comes from our partner and friends at Avast? It sure does. Avast empowers you with digital safety and privacy, which we all could use, no matter who you are, where you are, or how you connect. Avast prevents over 1.5 billion with a B attacks every single month. Avast's new all-in-one solution, Avast One, helps you to take control of your safety and privacy online through a range of features. Avast One's data breach monitoring lets you find out if your online accounts have been compromised and whether your passwords need to be changed. I'm here to say they do need to be changed, sis. I mean, I know your birthday and your middle name already. Ransomware protection secures your personal photos, documents, and other files from being modified, deleted, or encrypted by ransomware attacks. Personally, I like the way Avast firewall protection keeps my personal information secure and stops attacks trying to get on my computer. Learn more about Avast One at avast.com.
Hey, BA fam. If y'all know anything about Brown Ambition on social media, it's that we are huge Canva fans. And shout out to our social media manager, Amber, because she does incredible things with Canva. And we are happy to say that Canva is also one of our partners. Yes, we are supported by Canva. And without their seamless creative process, I honestly do not know what we would do, especially without Canva Pro. Designing with Canva Pro is seriously so fast and fun. I love doing it. I'm a little jealous that Amber gets to do it all the time, but you know what? We got to delegate and ask for help sometimes, right? But with Canva Pro, they have endless premium fonts, videos, photos. You can make reels on Canva Pro. You can do videos. You can do all the PowerPoint, all the decks that I use for my Mandi Moneymakers group. I use using Canva, and they look so polished, and it could not be easier. You can design like a pro with Canva Pro. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our promo code. Just go to canva.me/brownambition to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's canva.me/brownambition. Canva.me/brownambition. Thanks for reminding me that there's a bright side. I did get some Apple stock and my husband, and we got Apple and some Tezzy, even though, Tesla, Elon Musk, just let me enjoy my car. Just let me enjoy my good contribution to the environment and feel smug at stoplights when people try to race me, and I beat them every time because that car is damn fast. But Elon is, I can't even keep track of the BSery
Girl
coming out of his world, his tweets. So for those of y'all who have, I think every time we kind of mention Tesla, every once in a while I'll get like a DM to Brown Ambition podcast on IG plug about the fact that the company has been accused of racism in a couple of ways. So they've been hit with like several discrimination lawsuits, and even potentially being flagged by the whole state of California for, and they're, I don't know what the status is of that, but it's some problems over there. And that was like back in February 2022, just
when
earlier
it came
this
to light,
year that I was reading about.
That's when it came to light, basically.
When it came to light, yes, of course. So this has been the experience of workers potentially for years.
Yeah.
But then he's just like trying to buy Twitter. And then the what pissed me off the most was last week when he sent out was it a tweet or an email that his staff he's like, get back to the office or else. Minimum of 40 hours per week. And he said something about like,
he said, or pretend to work someplace else.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, what a douche.
While you pretend to work while you're just tweeting out of your anus?
Girl.
Like, I don't want to get back my Tesla, y'all. Do I have to? No, but it's just like, I feel like another toxic, when you create these deities, these demigods, I feel like in the corporate world, this is what happens. And I mean, you got Jeff Bezos flying off on a dick-shaped rocket to the
I
moon,
mean,
spending billions of dollars on it. And now you've got Musk swinging it around on the internet and just making a fool of himself. And we sort of give them these platforms to do it on, by just treating them like they are, deities on this earth. And we create these giants, and then they get to swing and do whatever they want to do
yeah,
and cause chaos and create turmoil. And, I think we're reaping what we sow again.
Yeah.
I
Honestly,
blame my husband for buying his memoir.
Oh, he bought Elon Musk has a memoir?
All right, that's not entirely true. I bought him the memoir for his birthday.
But here's the thing, you can learn.
Again, I'm part of the problem.
No, you can learn from different people. I don't even, there's a lot of business men and women who I might not agree with all their philosophy, whatever, but there's something to still be learned. Sometimes it's to learn how not to do that and how not to be that way. So that I don't think that's, and you're right. When you have wealth and power, the rules don't apply. I remember reading an article about this person became a wealth planner on purpose just to see the privilege that the uber wealthy have. So he became a wealth planner. And sometimes he said he remembers one of his first weeks on the job, his boss was like, we have to fly to Switzerland to meet with one of our clients. You can come with us so you can see how, we interact. And he gets to the private plane. That's what they're flying out of. He said, oh my God, I forgot my passport. I have to run back home. And his boss was like, you don't need it. He's like, no, but we're flying to Switzerland. I need my passport. And he was like, no, you don't need it. You'll see. There's no checks, no balances, no nothing. They landed. Nobody asked for his passport. Nobody asked for anything. The rules don't apply to the Uber world. Can you imagine flying to a whole other country from the United States and flying back and not being asked for your passport? All these arbitrary rules they come up with for us, they don't apply to the uber wealthy. And that's why you see them behave like children, because it's like, your 2-year-old is like, the rules don't apply. Sis, who you talking to? I run this. Like children don't have the same rules as adults do, and therefore they act out, but they're children. And I feel like people are some of these uber wealthy folks are out of touch the way regular people have to navigate life. And so they think that they can say whatever and it changes literally the landscape of the economy. Like Elon Musk can tweet something about, remember he tweeted a thing about Dogecoin, or he sent us something on SNL about Dogecoin, and which is a cryptocurrency, and it made that coin shoot up in value.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care. He thinks it's funny. And
which gives his ego a high. He also has this thing about, and there is something that I learned about Elon. Actually, I learned from him that to point, but he has this feeling. You can tell from what he says that he has this moral high ground because he's created Tesla, which is an electric vehicle and solar panels, and has done so much for climate change. And he pitched a hissy fit on Twitter because, have you heard of socially responsible investing, or ESGs? What does it stand for? ESG funds. So there are this class of, we got, when we opened Rio's brokerage account, we gave him a socially responsible ESG, I think. We invested in him in that particular fund. And it's basically, we talk about index funds and ETFs, which are basically a little menu of, not a little, but sometimes they can be every company or the top 500 companies. With ETFs, it can be tied to a certain sector. So with ESG funds, you have investment firms trying to come up with a list of companies who have socially responsible policies, good environmental impact, are basically have some kind of moral fiber and goodness about them. And it's all very arbitrary. And there's been controversy about them in the past. Is this actually a smart way to invest? Do these companies actually perform better? And as investors, who want to feel good about what they're buying, like me, I want to get my son something that I can be proud of. And I just kind of blindly say, oh, this must be the good companies to invest in. But, it's actually been found that they don't perform, these actual funds are not, now that we have some historical data, are not performing that great compared to other, even potentially lower cost, lower fee funds. And I did learn that because Eli pitched a hissy fit because Tesla got kicked out of one of these funds. And that's what it's like. Just because your product does some good, I feel like the idea that now you are not responsible for what happens at the company that
Girl.
creates your product, that to me is where we need to hold them accountable.
Yes.
So I'll be very, very interested, and I will be watching, and I may hit the refund button or exchange button on the car. Who knows? Depending on how these lawsuits turn out.
Yeah.
Because that's just not, I don't want to condone that. Mm-mm. And no good.
No good. Oh, I do have like a little update because a few of you hit me up. I had like the last of my calls with like some of my former employees, and they just went really well. Have to
Oh,
say, I
good.
have to say, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just, it was like, it was hard for sure, but ultimately, that's one of the things I'm learning with Dr. Green is like, girl, say the hard thing now, sis, so you can live, Because I walk around like, have you ever watched Charlie Brown?
I mean, I'm familiar.
I know, right? There's one character. Is that
Snoopy?
Linus? There's a character that walks around with like a cloud over his head. I don't know the
I
character
feel like
that
you're
is.
describing Eeyore.
Is that Eeyore? Either way,
No,
one
that's
of these.
from Winnie the Pooh. Whatever.
Yes,
I don't know.
I know, right? One of these characters,
Yeah.
I'm almost positive it's Charlie Brown that walks around with like a cloud over his head. But I feel like it's a cloud of dirt. Either way, there's a sadness cloud. There's an anxiety cloud that I will live with because I'm trying to avoid having the hard conversations. And I am now finally saying, I don't want to live with that cloud no more. I don't want to do it.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
it feels so good. Like she gave me a really good activity. And this is for you to try as well. Well, you don't have the hard trouble with the hard conversations, but one of the things she said, how do you feel now pre-conversation about the situation? I was like, what level of anxiety is it giving you? And I said, probably, 10 being the highest, 1 being I'm chill. I said, probably a 7. Like it was really like making me like, oh my gosh. And she said, so how do you anticipate feeling when you have the conversation, even if it doesn't go as well as you'd like or whatever, like, and maybe you're still sad about it, whatever, like what level of anxiety do you think you're likely to carry based upon historical data of how you navigate? I was like, I'll probably get down to maybe like a 3 or a 4. And she was like, well, I like those odds. So you're carrying around a 7 and the way to get to a 3 or 4 is through this door of this one conversation. And so it's just really helped me to visualize, like, have the conversation and you can drop from a 7 to a 4, and then you get to dissipate this cloud of anxiety that you're walking around with. And so it's just been like, I've really been not just what I told her today during therapy. I was like, I don't want to just hear the good advice. I want to put it to work and put it to use. Like, what is the point of all of this? Like, I have to practice the things. And so that's what I've been doing. It's really practicing. Like, oh, it's hard, it sucks. Practice anyway. And when I tell you, I am just that much closer to what I deem to be free, meaning like not carrying around the baggage of things past. It doesn't mean that things have not happened. There hasn't been trauma or whatever, but I'm not carrying around the weight of it.
Yeah.
That I'm like able to acknowledge this is a thing that has happened. This is how I felt about it, but I've done something about it and I'm able to move forward. And so like, it just, yeah, I'm like really, because I know I was really emotional during that time. And thank you guys for like your like, writing back and, offering me like support and things like that. But I just was like, it was just me venting. Cause I think it's good to also see like that part of entrepreneurship that's not, like sunshine and lollipops, that it's hard. But then look on the other side. You do the hard thing and you get this feedback that it was like, it was just really great to hear from folks and let them know that I hear and feel them and to offer up any condolences that I can. So I feel good.
Yeah. As a friend, that makes me very happy because I mean, you can tell. And if you guys aren't, you want the whole backstory, go check out that episode. It was a couple of weeks ago. I think the actual title was The Other Side of Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you're always so candid, like, and it's a gift to you work through certain things, but closure is always good.
Yes.
It doesn't always work. It doesn't.
Yes.
My whole like bull in a china shop thing, like talk about it right now because I'm ready. Doesn't always go over so well. Just ask my husband. But when both people are willing to talk and you can like come together and get through it, that's a beautiful freaking thing. Beautiful. So I'm glad. What you brought up for me when you talked about how Elon Musk is like a toddler was, oh man, I was laughing so hard at the royal family. They had like some party for the queen this weekend. Did you see the videos of what's the baby Prince William's son, Louis? or
Oh,
Lewis,
yes.
whatever, where he is legit. I mean, take the hat and the fancy dress off of Kate Middleton, put her in some athleisure and a top knot, and she could have been
Yes. Any
any mom
mom.
in the world trying
She
to
was
shut her
like,
kid up.
she was looking at him like, and the look, like the pursed lips that you give, and that look of
Yes.
like, ooh, I see what you're doing.
I could
Because
see
kids
her
be like,
threatening him. I know she was like, "You want a timeout?" And
yes,
he's like, he made this face. I don't even know what that
I
is.
couldn't believe it.
The
Because kids are
audacity.
so smart. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we at a fancy place. Why is she
Mm.
acting strange? She's using her "we're outside" voice. I'm gonna ask that. It was, but I
I'm going to
love that
remind her where the
because it's
power
like,
lays.
yes, but it's just honestly, it's nice to just see that no matter, I don't care how much money you have, how much influence, how much whatever, your toddler is gonna
Yeah.
toddler. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never felt and honestly, he didn't, and he stopped showing up to events after that. Like, let the baby come. Honestly, if you want to
Yes.
endear the royal family to the world, just
Yes.
let Kate Middleton be a struggling mom for like
Yes.
in heels at an event trying to keep her kids in line.
Yeah.
Oh, the levity. Also shout out to the queen, I guess. She's, great lady.
Yeah. I'm
Great
like, I
lady.
guess.
I
If you include
guess all them
colonization,
royals.
right? I'm like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protect
We ain't
I'm
gonna go
I'm
into
just
that.
glad, Meghan Markle got out of there and, her babies are cute
Child.
and I'm happy for her. She showed up, she put a hat on for them. That was more than she ever had to do. And we wish her well. That's all I
Yes.
gotta say.
Hey, BA fam. It's me, Tiffany, and I'm super excited about our partner, Squarespace, because I use Squarespace and I've been using it, honestly, almost since the beginning of the Budgetnista. They're everything, and we use it for Brown Ambition as well. Squarespace is everything to sell anything. Squarespace has the tools you need to get your business off the ground. Ask me how I know. I used it, including e-commerce templates, inventory management, a simple checkout process, and secure payments. Whatever you sell, Squarespace has merchandising features to make your products look their best online. Connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated member-only content. See how your visits, unique visitors, and page views trend over time. Gain insights into the top traffic sources, products, device types, browsers, and operating systems by visits. You own all the content you put on the Squarespace platform. This is so critical. Squarespace even offers one-click data portability. Head to squarespace.com/brownambition for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code BROWNAMBITION to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Squarespace.com/brownambition, offer code Brown Ambition. Hey, BA fam. Now we are going to have a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Are you working too much? Yes. Not taking enough time for yourself, feeling burned out? Life can be overwhelming, don't you know? I know. And many people are burnt out without even knowing it. Symptoms can include lack of motivation, irritability, fatigue, and more. We associate burnout with work, but that's not the only cause. Any of our roles in life can lead to us feeling burnt out. BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to prioritize yourself. Talking with someone can help you figure out what's causing stress in your life. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you really don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/brownambition. That's betterhelp.com/brownambition. That's betterhelp.com/brownambition. Now it's time to boost or break or boost or break or boost or break or boost or break. What you gonna do, Mandy? You gonna boost? You gonna break?
Yeah, I'm feeling boostomistic today. I want to
Okay.
boost. I could have done a break, but I'm going to do the positive side. I'm going to do a boost for the jobs report that came out on Friday. The
Okay.
Labor Department released some job numbers and they were extraordinarily good. And I say this
Okay.
to all the people who have been anxious and reading, choice headlines about how they have been layoffs recently. We've seen them at CNN Plus, and we talked about Peloton earlier. That was better. We've seen them at like payment app Klarna, and how these layoffs are hitting tech especially hard. But nearly 400,000 jobs were added in May, and unemployment continues to be really, really freaking low, like 3.6%, which is among the lowest rates we've had for decades now. So I say all this to say we're gonna be all right.
Right.
There are yes,
all right.
there are layoffs, there are some hiring freezes, but the job market is definitely still healthy. And I also feel like I hear this from clients all the time too, everyone's talking about how there's so many jobs and how, companies can't find anybody, but then why am I not getting calls back? And why am I not getting through these interviews or finding the job that I want to find? And I'm like, everyone, like the people's standards for what we want out of employers has risen, as it should have risen so high, that those jobs with the benefits and the hybrid work schedules, with the flexible work schedules, with the unlimited PTO, those are not that they're necessarily fewer or further between, but more people want them now, because now they see how the other half is living. They're on hashtag career talk on TikTok and seeing, right? So it's more competitive, and it will continue to be competitive. So I think you just have to like adjust your expectations. There are jobs out there, but think about like your particular industry and which jobs you're going after, and then like adjust your mindset to maybe have to hold on, and push through and stay optimistic, even if it feels like, okay, the job that I want so badly and that everyone's telling me exists hasn't, come yet. They're out there. They're really competitive. But largely this whole storyline about how I know that we are, edging toward recession and all of that, but the jobs numbers were extremely optimistic. So
and if you're needing help, hello, we have our very own career coach, Mandra, right here. Get you some, right? If they want to hire you, Mandy, how could they hire you?
MandyMoney.com. I've had my baby business turned 1 this weekend.
Oh, congrats. That's a boost, girl.
It's a boost. I forgot about that. I wrote it down. I turned 1. Mandy Money turned 1. MandyMoney.com. I cannot believe that's from the day that I got my LLC.
Mandy with an I, just, so
Mandy with an I.
MandyMoney.com.
If you do not know how to spell my name, then why are you listening?
Well, they might be new people.
They're going to put in mandramoney.com.
No, but for real, if you're like, especially now more than ever, you really want to hone your like skills about how to negotiate, how to find the right job. That's why we have Mandra. That's what she be doing. That's why we have Mandra. Go get you some.
I'm so damn grateful to be doing this. I feel so good about, like, I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. The women that I'm helping, the feedback that I'm getting, it's all happening. And I feel like too, I get to be optimistic because I see the success happen every day. I see the struggles, but then I get to see people succeed too. So that's why I'm always like, I know I've seen people struggle. I've also seen what happens when you just keep at it and you keep working and do not settle for less, career wise. So yeah.
So if you want some, it's
happy birthday.
MandyMoney.com. And then it'll be in our show notes, her website, just in case you forget how to spell her name. I'm going to do 2 quick boosts. So boost number 1, someone the other day was like, oh, your skin is looking great, Tiff. 2 Black-owned skincare businesses that saved my skin. So y'all know, well, maybe you might not know because you're new, but I came back from Jordan like less than a month ago. And I don't know. I don't think it was sunburn because I don't know what sunburn feels like, but I had floated in the Dead Sea, which was amazing. It's 30% or 33% salt. So you can't sink because it's so buoyant, everyone floats. And then what they do is there's like minerals that like literally there's the mud. It's like clay from the Dead Sea. You're supposed to put it all over your body. It's supposed to like rejuvenate your skin. Child, I did it. And then I put it on my face. And I was like, it feels a little itchy, but I was like, that's okay because I'm about to be doing it. The next day I was fine. The day after that, I looked like my worst nightmare when I was 13. I broke out so badly. And it wasn't just like literally broke out with pimples. And I don't get pimples. It was also dry patches all over my face. Because I do get like a little bit of eczema during like transitional seasons, just a little, maybe like a little on my arm, but hardly any, like a little patch. My whole face was a patchy, rashy, pimply mess. I really was like, what have I done to myself? And I didn't know what to do. And I was
It
so
does sound
scared.
hella unsanitary.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I was like, what have I done? What have I done?
It's just
And so when I
bodies
got
floating
back,
out there, and you take the body water mud and you put it on your face.
oh my God, they said it was full of minerals. Anyway, I got back to the States.
Yeah.
And there was like 2 skincare brands that like saved my face. One, My Butter Bar. So I use My Butter Bar anyway, like
Yes.
just regular day to day, but their stuff is amazing. If you can only use one product because it's not cheap, it's the Melanin, which is like I don't like it's like a serum, but it's like whoo, so rejuvenating. But like I also use they have like an under eye oil roller thing that's really great. I also like their facial cleanser that's really great. And so that was like that was like my base of what you normally do. But then my friend of mine, she's got this brand called Puka, Pooka, Puka, and Dawn, her name is, and she's awesome. She's had Puka for like, I don't know, probably like 20 something years from now. But so Dawn actually has MS. And what she noticed is that she would get flare ups and she started to look at the products she was putting on her body. And she was like, your skin is the largest organ on your body. So I am, like ingesting these things through like lotions and soaps. And so she started to make some for herself. And then her friends were like, oh my gosh, can I have some? So she made it as gifts. And then a business was born. But I have to say that I went back to using my regular My Butter Bar stuff, but then Puka is what really like reset my skin. They have like this, she's got like this shea butter balm. OMG. Literally, I would do what the kids I saw this on TikTok, they call it slugging, where you like basically coat your whole face with Vaseline, which I don't really agree for Vaseline, but basically where you look like you're 5 years old and you're going off to kindergarten, your mother just put all the Vaseline on your face.
Yeah.
But I was using her Puka shea butter like cream to do that. Like every night I would just like coat my face. And after a week, girl, look at me now. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
I
You
mean,
can't
you're
see,
not
but glowing. I'm glowing.
glowing.
Yeah. So thank you. So Puka is Pooka. Go support. And then My Butter Bar, 2 Black owned, women owned skincare brands that are amazing. And I love them. Okay. And then a quick boost is in my neighborhood. So I live in a similar neighborhood to you, Mandy, mostly Black and brown folks. Little enclave. It's called Forest Hill in Newark, New Jersey. It's beautiful, historic homes. And every time a house goes up for sale, we all hold our breath to see who gonna move on in. Because honestly, it's the nicest neighborhood in Newark. And I have to say, 80 to 90% of the time, it's another person of color. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you. Today I went to no, not today, yesterday, my sister and I went to an open house down the street. Beautiful historic home that was built in like 1908 or whatever. And almost everybody who was in there to go see the house, we met a couple from Brooklyn and someone else. They were all people of color. And they were asking me about the neighborhood. I was like, honestly, I love it here. Like I can walk with my black hoodie on and my sweatpants. And I don't have to be like if I was walking in Montclair, like which is like 2 towns over, but not nearly as black and brown, I would be mindful to show my face, to be like, look, I'm not quote unquote dangerous, which is so sad. But in Forest Hill, I don't have to do that. I could walk with my hoodie on and people are like, hey, good morning, sis. And it just feels so good. And I just worry that we were going to lose that because a lot of homes went up for sale. And like I said, 80 to 90% of the time, it's been another person of color. And I just love that like, because I want to be able to feel safe in my own neighborhood where I can be fully Black. Like when Jarrell was here, he would roll up to the house, playing his music and no one's calling the police like on you. It's just like, whereas I'm hearing in other surrounding cities that are super nice, but there's an issue. There's an issue in the school system where it's like your child is being aggressive, which is code for Black. Because you're the only Black child in that school system. We're here in Newark. Newark has some of the best schools in the state of New Jersey. And so Alyssa, my stepdaughter, gets to go to Science High School, which is one of the top schools in the state of New Jersey. And she takes physics, chemistry, all at the same time, geometry and trigonometry. And her class is full with other Black and brown smarties. And so I just love that for her and I love that for us. And so that's just a boost that like, I don't mind. The problem with gentrification is that one, it devalues the current property because the people who live there are black and brown. And as soon as you push them out, then the property is now worth more by nature of quote unquote, those people don't live here anymore. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, all the resources and the money and everything else comes flooding back into the neighborhood. And I'm like, no, if folks came in and you were able to continue to share in the development and the growth of a neighborhood, I would have no problem with that. But that's not what happens. And so I'm just really glad to know that, like, that Forest Hill is maintaining, its level of community, honestly. And I love living here. And so that was
Yeah.
my boost.
That's so on topic for me because my neighborhood, like I talked about before, it's historically black, and like there is this friction because there have been a lot of some developers moving in and fixing up homes and then
Mm,
flipping them, and the elders of the community are quite protective, and there's been, they're like, I feel like I'm in the middle of it right now, kind of seeing how both sides are playing out, and not
mhm.
like at the same time wanting, like, loving new neighbors, but also understanding their fear and their
Yes.
paranoia and I mean, not to diminish it, but no, their fear and their protectiveness of the community.
Yeah.
um and I get it, and I feel like, man, I guess I was one of those Manhattanites who moved on over here too in my own little way, sort of kind of gentrifying. But it's interesting, and I'm like, I think what they want to know from us, the younger people in the neighborhood, is just like that we are also committed. So
Yes.
you mentioned like the community, and I'm hopefully we're going to have like a community meeting to talk and to listen to one
Good.
another, and to, because it's gotten heated sometimes when people are like, we had this neighborhood listserv. I asked to not be on it. It was too much. It was too much. But my husband, well, there's something juicy, Enrique will tell me. um, but yeah, it's like, oh, we saw, a new family or a new developer, and the developer was like a woman, a family, not a developer.
Yeah.
But it's like, I get what you're saying. It's like to protect the community, but also have progress at the same time.
Yes, I
Those two
want
things are so
progress
in conflict sometimes.
because literally
Um,
it's like when people move to Brooklyn and then tried to shut down the West Indian Day parade. It's like,
mm,
what? You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, oh, it's so loud. I'm like, yes, yes,
yeah,
that's what it sounds like when the parade is here in Brooklyn once a year. I just, and that's what that's the frustration. It's like to move in and then say, change to fit me, you
yeah,
know, or to move in and say, now your house is worth something,
mm,
So I'm just like, no. Plus, the truth is, I'm worried about my safety. Honestly, I don't want to have
yeah,
to worry about walking around and having the police called on me. And like, because I've seen that with my friends who live in like other cities, where they're not welcomed. And like, you can't even walk your damn dog. And you're like, I live right here. Oh, okay. Oh, you're one of the safe ones. Nah, I'm not doing that, bruh. We're not doing that.
yeah,
Not up in here. And so I'm just like, yeah, I just, I'm excited about like, that that's happening. Like I said, I welcome other people to come and move here, but not to change the fabric of like it is safe to be here. It is safe to live here. I can be fully black, which might mean like we have so many a lot of Latino families that live here. And like, on Saturday, I know, okay, you're going to play music and I'm going to be fake merenguing in my house. And no one's going to be, unless you take it to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, mama, then no one's going to be calling the police on you,
3 o'clock's the limit.
that like, you just want that feeling of like that. I don't think it's
Mm,
almost like being a woman that men don't understand what it is as a woman. You're like, okay, I'm walking back to my car. Okay, do I have my keys? Okay, do I have
yeah,
my, that's what it's like to be black in a space where, you've been made to feel unwelcome. It's like, okay, do I look intimidating? Okay, I shouldn't have wore a black hoodie today, even as a woman, and I'm just like, yeah, I prefer not to live that way. I'd like to feel free and not feel like I have to make everyone else feel safe, even though I'm not doing anything in my own neighborhood. And so, because I had considered moving to like a Montclair or whatever, and then I spoke to some folks that live there, and when they tell me the challenges, I'm like, all that's for a nice house?
mm,
Nah, I'm good. Like I'll stay here where like that's just not the case. I can be myself and maybe it's not like as fancy as over there, but I mean like quality of life is great here. So
Yeah, you have to protect your peace and your safety at all times. Shout out to
Exactly.
Forest Hills. That was beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
All right, friends in our heads. We will see y'all next week. Don't forget to tune in Fridays. We have BAQ&A.
Yes.
Every Friday, we take a couple of your questions. If you got questions, brandambitionpodcast.com to drop them off. And we will see y'all next week.
Yeah, don't forget, tweet us. I want to see the stock numbers. I'm curious.
Right. And the stock ticker, what? AMZN?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just Google it. And we're
At
at
the
the
BA
BA
podcast.
Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Do your homework. Tiffany will go after you if you don't. All right, y'all. Until next week.
Bye.